What is the need for science? There are two perspectives. First one is individual perspective. Why people conduct experiments? Yes, to find out something new. Imagine that you discovered something and became a famous scientist. So, as an individual, what will you get? Yes, you will become famous and you will be happy. Scientists become famous and find great joy in their discoveries. Now, let us see the societal point of view. Societal perspective. Why societies and nations pay scientists to do scientific work? Think about that, children. There are two realms of answers. That is, to improve the life of people. Let us see a few scientists who are working in this area. A geneticist. By looking at you, somebody may say that your eyes are like that of your mother. Your nose is like that of your father, isn't it? Yes, there are genes in our cells which carry these characters. Geneticists try to understand how characters are passed from generation to generation. A biologist. How cholera is transmitted? Through contaminated water. So, we can avoid contaminated water to prevent cholera. Biologists trace the pathways by which diseases are transmitted. Earth scientist. What happens during an earthquake or landslide? Yes, loss of lot of lives. If these earthquakes or landslides can be predicted earlier, what can be done? People can be evacuated to safer places. So, Earth scientists develop better models for prediction of earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions, etc. All these can improve the life of people. Now, let us see how science is useful for the economic development of the country. Let us see what is done by scientists for the economic development. For example, earth scientists try to discover source of petroleum, ores, etc. If we have enough petroleum in our country, do we have to import it from other countries? No, we can save money. If extra petroleum is there, what can be done? Yes, we can sell and gain money. So, the country's economy will grow. Children, what are ores? Crude form of minerals, gold, iron, etc. are formed as ores. Crude means natural or raw state. If we discover such ores, it will improve our economic growth. A physicist tries to record the velocity of object, intensity of sound, and develop new phenomena like superconductivity that may improve our economic development. What is superconductivity, children? The ability of certain materials to conduct electric current with practically zero resistance. Science and change. Science undergoes constant changes. Children, previously, how was the television? And at present, which type of television are we using? Yes, previously it was black and white, and at present we are using LED. How did all this come? As discoveries are taking place constantly, many changes are taking place. According to the famous scientist Karl Popper, science is a history of corrected mistakes. Albert Einstein remarked of himself that fellow Einstein every year retracts what he wrote the year before. For example, previously it was believed that sun is revolving around the earth. Later, Copernicus discovered a theory that sun is stationary and the earth is revolving around the sun. Do you know what is scientific method? Scientists follow a specific way for their innovations. The way that they follow is called as scientific method. Do you think scientists discover something without a proper plan? No. Scientists follow certain steps to discover something. Scientific method involves several steps. How do scientists work? They use organized ways called scientific methods which help them plan and conduct a study. Let us see how do they follow scientific method. Scientific method includes several steps. The first step is observe and ask a question. Use your senses to make observation. Record one question that you would like to answer. Write down what you already know about the topic as your question. Then decide what other information you need. Finally, do more research and find more information about your topic. For example, Arvind is using this scientific method for experimenting to find out an answer to his question. He needs to find out which soil works best for planting bean seeds. Step 2 is form a hypothesis. Children, what is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is a possible answer that can be tested. What is hypothesis, children? Yes, a hypothesis is a possible answer that can be tested. Write a possible answer or hypothesis to your question. Write your hypothesis in a complete sentence. My hypothesis is that bean seeds sprout best in potting soil. Here comes step 3. Plan an experiment. Decide how to conduct a fair test of your hypothesis by controlling variables. Children, what are variables? Variables are factors that can affect the outcome of the investigation. There are two types of variables: fixed variables and changing variables. Now, write down the steps you will follow to do your test. List the equipment you need. Decide how you will gather and record your data. There are two variables in this experiment. All the three pots receive same amount of water and sunlight. So, they are fixed variables. Soil is the changing variable because in the three pots, the type of soil is different. What is the outcome of the investigation? Growth of the plant differs. The fourth step is do the experiment. Follow the steps you have written. Observe and measure carefully. Record everything that happens. Organize your data so that you can study it carefully. I will measure each plant every 3 days. I will record the result in a table. I will draw a bar graph to show the height of each plant 21 days after sowing the seeds. Next step is drawing conclusions and communicate results. Analyze the data you gathered. Make charts, tables, or graphs to show your data. Write a conclusion. Describe the evidence you used to determine whether your test supported your hypothesis. Decide whether your hypothesis is correct or not. If your hypothesis is correct, you may want to pose another question about your topic, what you can test. If your hypothesis is incorrect, what can be done? Think about that. You can find another hypothesis and continue with the steps. My hypothesis is not correct. The seeds sprouted equally well in potting soil and sandy soil. They sprout well in clay soil. I will test this new hypothesis. Bean seeds sprout best in combination of clay, sandy and potting soil. I will plan and conduct a test using potting soil, sandy soil and a combination of clay, sandy and potting soil. Keep learning, children. You can watch this video twice or thrice too for more clarity.